Alright, and we are back with another episode of the Outer Worlds. Now, the first episode, we didn't get a whole lot done. We did the intro, we did our setup of our character, and we made landfall and accidentally killed the guy that was supposed to be picking us up, so we got a new ship. And now we're exploring a new area. There we go. Okay. Let's see, what was our current tasks? Find a power regulator, right. Fingers. Okay.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. If you're not familiar with board law, you ought to be. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Eugene wasn't family. Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. First of all, that's a horrible thing to say. Secondly, yes, we did. When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. Look around. Edgewater ain't exactly swimming in luxury. We can't afford to pay the body price of a suicide. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
Well, that was awfully suspicious.
Miss Holcomb, are you ready to see the grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker? Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. Neither do I. The fault was entirely mine. I pushed them too hard. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we just... Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith, for so politely listening to me as I ramble on.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented, and may prove useful to you.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Okay. So we got our first companion. CMP new manager seminar companions. You've gained a companion. They are characters that join you in your adventures and help in a variety of ways. Companions provide combat support. Their skills enhance your skill. They enhance your carrying capacity. Ooh, that's a good one. Never seen that one before. You can carry... No, sorry. You can unlock special companion combat abilities with the inspiration skill. Learn more about your companion in the companion ledger. Okay. Okay, quest log. Small grave matter. Small stranger and a stranger. Divert power from the geothermal plant. Deliver Reed's message. Reed asks you to deliver a message to Atlanta. Okay, that's the active one. Codex. right.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. On account of it being the only clean thing. Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
All right. East. Okay, so we're going this way.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. You're all up.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto, at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town? Not to put too fine a point on it, but your choice of wardrobe is not precisely common hereabouts. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy, like a trapped animal. Pretty universal here.
Except for Miss Holcomb, who, for some reason, doesn't seem to have much to say to me. Isn't that right?
It's just... there's more to it all than numbers. Sorry.
Oh, nothing could be further from the truth. I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in this town. Yes, but there are few who hear me in this miserable place. I must double my efforts to elevate my flock. These are good, hard-working people here. Yes, and thank you for pointing it out. It is wrong of me to succumb to distress. This place could be so much more, and I will continue in my quest to make it so. They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No. How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands. Selling? No. It is free for all who seek it. I'm sorry you don't find these tried and true words of wisdom to your liking. Have you? These people need something, anything they can grasp to survive. Delving into the metaphysical minutiae of the grand plan would be nonsense to them, if not worse. My apologies. The townsfolk are having a tough time of it, and it's been difficult for me to enrich their lives. They are good people. It is just difficult to reach them.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. I just want to keep the writing out of laymen's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value. Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
That guy wasn't helpful at all. All he did was give me another job.
Yeah, huh? You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vickers says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. It just comes off cold to me, is all.
Got my sights on you. You're safer inside the walls.
I do like that you gotta hold X to go to a new area. All right. Well, these are kind of cool. It's pretty detailed for just having a plant. Landing pad.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the Resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. Just my luck. I ask for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk. All right. Listen real close. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or stand... Go on. I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation. Officially, unofficially, strictly between you and me, I am the only thing standing between Edgewater and total annihilation. I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saw tuna cans, mostly, some Spacer's chaw, few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid. Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the Resistance a bad name. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back. Mechanical's got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing.
Okay. Well, there's not a whole lot around here. Some interesting looking stuff though. Did nothing from the alpha. I'm guessing that would kill me, so I'm not going to go in there, but it does look pretty cool. Yeah, I know there was like 4 of these, so... Okay. Some interesting plants. Down.
Not a peep from me.
Why would there be a peep from you?
Where are we headed?
Must be the freighter that they talked about once a month. Wonder how long it's here for. I should probably go find out.
Time to capture a freighter.
Capture a freighter? Yeah, I don't even know if that's a thing. Is it actually going to land? Or is it just like an aesthetics thing where it just flies by? Looks like it's just going to fly right by.
I have no idea.
Well, I can go take a look, but, oh, that's the junkyard. We have a job here.
Aw, he ain't no threat. Bet I could fix him up smart.
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation systems failed. Unable to comply.
I could probably fix that.
By the way,
if
hi.
you wanted me to.
Well, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hug Killer.
That's not bad work, ma'am. You done this before?
Navigation systems operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiating self-diagnostics. Spacer's Choice reminds all colonists that serving the Spacer's Choice family is the highest possible reward. I have been programmed to deliver this pre-approved message.
Huh. Combat drone. Can we fix up the combat drone? Alright, we're almost done with the junkyard. Is it another combat drone? It is. Oh look, it was just full of stuff. This junkyard was full of good stuff. Alright, well, before we get too far, I want to see if that freighter actually landed. It did not. That's what I thought. So it was just something that flies by, I guess. This place just has junk everywhere. Oh, what's that? Marauders.
Here we go!
Go ahead and heal.
Nice one! Ah! That's the last of them.
Alright, how the hell do I heal? I forget. Button layout.
F.
Doesn't look like there is a heal. Oh, it's left bumper. I didn't show that in the settings. Controls. Left bumper. Emergency medical inhaler. Oh, yeah, right there. F. Maybe on the computer. Inventory. Okay, so I have a light machine gun. Huh. Where'd the hammer go? What the hell? Companion ledger shows you everything you need to know about your companions. You can see their skills, stats, status effects, and gear. Oh, I can give them stuff. Okay. Oh, okay, that's where the hammer is. She's got it. Alright, well, she's best equipped as she can be. So 7 armor. Well, I can upgrade things. Okay. Okay, passive. Only attacks targets the companion has been explicitly told to. Defensive. Once told to attack a target, the companion continues to fight until combat is over. Aggressive. The companion always engages in attacks when the player enters combat. Okay, I like aggressive. Level 3. Current health is low. Okay, so we need to heal her. Alright, what is this? Tier, can't do, requires, okay. Increase the companion's maximum health. That sounds good. Increase the amount of threat this companion generates when attacking enemies, making them more likely to attack this companion. That doesn't sound good at all. Decrease the amount of threat this companion generates when attacking enemies, making them less likely to attack this companion. That sounds good. Increase your engineering skill and bravado is in the, yeah, we want that. How do we select these? I don't have any perks available yet. Okay. Alright, character skills. Okay, so leadership has to do with the companions. Your knowledge of bodies, tools in the universe. Should definitely put some points into this. And apply. Okay, there we go. Now it's gone. Alright, so inventory. Modifications. What is this? General. Quests. Junk. What can I do with junk? Remove from junk. Options. Drop. I don't want to drop. I have to find somebody to buy stuff at some point, I think. Look, there's another ship going by. You know, for a place that's not supposed to actually have a bunch of ships going by, it's kind of, doesn't make much sense. This place has just a lot of junk laying around. Well, I unlocked it, I guess. Let's see what's in there. Help the chairman and Minister Clark defeat our foes. Yeah, so far what I've seen of these companies, I don't like these companies so far. I don't think they realize they get better workers when their workers are treated better.
You should say that to the real corporations.
This is just another entrance. I don't know why this is a picklock spot. Yeah, I'm not quite sure the entire goal of this game yet, so like I know our main task is pretty much to revive everybody else from the Hope, I think is what the name of our ship was that we were originally on. But hard to say whether that's what we're actually going to be doing. They've definitely done fantastic about like how this game looks. I think that's one thing everyone can agree on.
we go! Nice hit! Ah! Woohoo! Everyone all right?
Okay, so those are probably explosive, so I probably could have killed them all by just shooting those, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, and I looted that guy already, okay. Evicted.
I was about to say that XD.
Yeah, it would have been nice to shoot it, but you know, until I know what it is, I probably shouldn't, but that way, you know, maybe it was something I could loot as well, but it's not. Should see what the explosion's like, though. So the small one was a small explosion, this one was kind of a medium explosion. So if they're ever in that scenario again, it's best to shoot the bigger one, obviously.
Gonna find you!
Incoming!
Kind of logical.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job at setting it up. Sometimes games don't do that. Oh shit. I didn't take enough time to do my medical stuff.
Rib.
Continue. Okay. Wonder what happens when I hit continue instead of load game. Yeah, there's quite a few enemies there. I probably should have played that back a little bit. Switched to a melee weapon if I was going to melee instead of just hitting with the butt of my gun.
You think so, XD?
Hey, now we can blow those guys up now, though. Looks like we just transitioned back to the last time we went through a loading screen. Manti Pillar examined. Interesting. Alright, so from here we pretty much just went up and looted over here.
You hiding?
Here they come! Woo! Nice work! That's smart! Nice one! We did it!
Alright, now right here. I think hers was down too, right?
Yeah, huh?
Wonder how we So that's to heal myself, which I didn't need it, but how do I heal her?
Not a peep from me. Here we go!
She heals over time.
Armor's too strong! Hit him with something else! Got him! Nice.
Got some decent living going on.
Great work.
Oh, a new weapon. Okay, item repair. Keep your... Alright, so that's 93, 73, 54, 320. And 34. Okay, so 73 is what, the highest? Melee. Alright, so let's keep a melee weapon. We do have limited ammo, so we will have to be cautious about that. Alright, let's just jump off of here. Eviction, eviction. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Community center. Alright. So the place is pretty much overrun with marauders all over the place.
mess with us. Here we go! That's the last of them.
Well, shit. Dismembered him completely. Okay, so oh, there's a bonfire. Bum 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 bum. So that's how we leave this place. How do we get upstairs and downstairs? No, I saw an upstairs.
Here we go! Everyone all right? Got it. Inside voices.
Okay. like this whole unlock rooms from different angles kind of thing. Forces you to explore a bit more.
Easy.
Damn, we look fantastic. Did we go upstairs? We did, didn't we? We did not.
Come on!
That's the last of them.
Oh, I didn't even realize there were stairs over here too. Alright, is there a place to actually read those things I keep picking up? So this is like medical stuff, okay. These are mods. General. Parts, armor parts, advanced spaceships, quest, site fees. What am I supposed to do with this? Must be something I can use on a quest or something. Okay, well, let's go with this back door because I don't think, oh, maybe not. Who ate my lunch? Stun baton. Ooh, a shotgun. $89. Okay. Let's put that on there. And light machine gun, shot cannon. Let's take the shot cannon off and put the shotgun on. Though we haven't used the shot cannon yet, but still. We have a decent amount of ammo for the shotgun. Look at that. Fuck yeah. It's everything in the room, right? Yeah. Alright, let's continue on. Oh yeah, I wanted to look at my gear too. Okay. A little bit. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I wanted to check armor. Get a new helmet. 13 and 9. Okay, what's the condition of this one? 100, 98, 13. Now I can give her armor, which I got her at 9. Could give her this helmet. Oops. I'll give her this helmet in case I need a replacement. Should have a yellow version to go with it. Oh well. Seeing dead bodies, so there's probably marauders here somewhere. This is a marauder. Uh-oh. Okay, so what's killing marauders and not looting them? Some purple soap. Some light reading on the toilet.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. A Geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you. Over in the hothouse, tending
Yes,
crop.
may.
Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Explains why you're still yammering on at me. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. I go looking for Zoe, I leave the camp undefended, seeing as I'm the only one of us who knows her way around a gun. Hence my dilemma. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Could do without the gallows humor. I'll tell you what I can. Well enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skills far as I could tell. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere. What is it?
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Okay, so all these buildings are going to be, if I want anything, I have to steal it, so it's just not, let's just open them up to talk to whoever's inside.
Something I can help you with? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics.
Oh, no.
Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day. Hey, I got time. Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Okay. Okay, so dialogue has to do with prices. Backpack, armor mod utility, increase your carrying capacity. As much as that would be good, there's no point to that until I'm getting to when I'm not completely upgrading gear constantly. Range weapon mod. Heavy ammo, speedy mate barrel. Yeah, so any of these mods are going to be useless for now. So he doesn't really have anything I need. What about selling? Wait, was that just one category? No, that was all. Okay. Sell. Okay, so I sold all the junk. Sell that. Okay, let's go specifically to armor first. So I know this is useless. 9, 7. Sell the 7. Okay. Is there any way to organize these now? Okay, well, we have a lot of these swords. I only really need like 2 of them. Okay, so we got 2 of those. I only really need 1 pistol. Alright, 54, let's get rid of that. 60, 42, 44. Probably get rid of another one of these blades. Okay, 215, 215, 100%, 100%. Probably don't need both of these. This one looks like it has a mod. Special effects stagger. No modifications. So it has a diamond symbol on it. I'm not sure what that means. Its value is more, whatever it is. 28, 24, 28, 24. It's like they're identical, but this one's worth more. They look identical too. This one has a higher condition. I don't know, we'll sell this one. Keep the better one, obviously. This one is terrible, so we're gonna sell that. Okay. What is this anyway? Blocker space. Keep that to use it at some point, just to find out what it is. Wait, was there anything
Something
else?
I can help you with? Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Right, so let's go to sell. Medical. Okay, so we should probably keep most of our medical. I don't even know what most of this is. Cigarettes? Gross. Oh, we don't need those. It's like food. I don't know, so it's like food, it's like bonuses. Okay. Okay, we need that. I don't know. None of this has very much value, so there's not really much point in selling it. This one has negatives. Anything with negatives, I think I'll sell. Let's go through them. This has negatives. So pretty much all the alcohol has negatives on it. I don't want that either. Okay. So... What's this? Companion ability cooldown. That's a good one. This one doesn't sound good. Alright, what else is there? Mods, we'll keep for now. Parts, yeah, okay. I already sold the junk. Is this supposed to be a store? It's empty. And everything's steel, so we can't even take it. Oh, hello. Trying to see if I'm stealing? Huh? Huh? Oh, shit. I think I just stole.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Then no more Edgewater for me. No more. Oh man. I knew it! She took the stories too seriously.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Oh, we definitely look like we're in the right place now. Alright, well, let's put our gun away.
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon. but it's been cleaned. No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice. The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer. A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots. It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip him out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Great, now I have to make the decision. Diverting to the company, which I don't even like the sound of the company at all, or to this place, which I'm not stupid. I know if I do it, it's going to bring war on them. Company's not just going to sit back and ignore the fact that all their workers are not working. But it may benefit my mission in the long run, so I think it's a pretty easy choice. All things considered. Though I don't think it's going to end well for these people.
Something I can help you with? I'll help if I can.
Steal, I want to steal nothing. Okay, so we're either going to save Zoe or find out that Zoe's fine. And then we got to divert power from Edgewater to here. That is the main plan.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery. Where are we headed?
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
I just automatically pull out my gun when I talk to somebody. What the hell is that?
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
So we're not going to get to steal from these people because we are helping them, so guess we will not be doing any of that.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Are you, things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no. I'm just along with this lady here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town. Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
I have 2 of them.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. I wish I knew. I wagered the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the third's gone, I can't say. No kidding! Really? Well, which one? Look at that! Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me. Well, don't keep me in suspense. Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment. Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands. What's on your mind? Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious. We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... oh, this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
Well, it definitely seems more like a community. The fuck? Ow. let's get the dialogue up. Perks. Okay, I can spend one more perk. What did I do the first time? Traveler, you've been... Okay, so that's for more. Your companions have a lot to teach you about killing. 50% XP from companion kills. Vendor prices. Time dilation, carrying capacity. Base armor, companion hit chance, weapon. Sprint speed, walk speed, damage, tactical, base health. Okay, I'm gonna do the weight one, but next time I'm definitely doing the health. Oh well. Finish that later. God damn it, that's another one.
Take cover.
Permanent consciousness. Having been hit in the head one too many times, your mental faculties have been permanently affected. Mine attributes -1. Why would I want to? No, let's reject that. Damn it. I thought I'd put a minefield here anyway.
Okay, gone quiet.
Doesn't exactly look like a marauder.
There we go. Nice one.
Damn it. Oh, that was unexpected. Shotgun wasn't as good as I was hoping. Definitely not using that again. Okay, so we didn't go back too far. Do have to do these again though. So I know I want this into dialogue. And we know we want the weight. And we know we don't want the shotgun. So let's remove the shotgun. Let's put that, where's that electrical thing again? Shock cannon. Let's put the shock cannon on there. Okay, so we gotta avoid these fucking mines. Okay, so we can't just run through. I'm gonna have to shoot these fucking things. close to that one. Alright, I think we're past the mines.
Here we go!
Yeah, I got one of the fingers I was after too. Did I get this one? No, get that one yet. Okay, let's go in the cave and see what's in there. Didn't look like we found Zoe either. Ooh, another building. What's another settlement? Oh shit. Ah, I'm alright, but definitely give me an ass kick. Alright, let's loot the bodies and go around and loot the place. Quickest way to get better gear, more survivability, is to loot and kill everything. That's within reasonable amounts, anyway. Don't want to screw over anybody that might become an ally. See a little crate right there. Doesn't look like there's another way into this building. Maybe Maybe there's roof access. Doesn't really look like there's roof access. Oh well. Maybe it'll become unsealed at some point in time. Alright, well, this was a nice little settlement with some interesting things. This weapon's running out of ammo. Should probably try. Oh shit!
Here they come! Nice
It's
one!
like electricity. Nice. I like this. Shit, what the hell?
Woo! Nice work!
Well, I do like this weapon. It's good at close combat.
I've always wanted to poke around in here.
Everyone all right?
Looks like the scientists were murdered for some reason at some point. Oh, look, there's another way in. Guess we didn't have to go loud through the front gate. There's another spot here, too.
Here we go! Don't mess with us.
Definitely lots of explosives around the area. It's a little unsettling.
Processing.
Here they come! Don't mess with us. Okay, here we go!
So that's to enter the thermo plant. Is there anything else left running around? I think I missed. All been looted. Okay, let's go in.
The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
Okay, so we'll stick with electrical because everything in here is going to need to be electrocuted. And as we saw, the minigun did not do good against robots. Which makes sense, of course.
Easy.
Sweeping the area.
Incoming! That's the last of them!
Alright. Kind of figured that anyway, with us going this way and then stairs going down back there, so that makes sense.
3 switches. That'll be easy enough.
You know, the only weird thing I'm finding around here,
Searching.
Look out!
the fact that these bodies, but I mean, how long have these bodies been?
Cut 'em off.
Did everything just happen recently? Like, what's going on here?
Self-diagnostics complete. Navigation systems operational. Combat systems operational. It's not the best choice. It's the Spacer's choice. All systems fully operational. Return journey successfully completed. Spacer's Choice would like to thank you for complying with your duties. Hostile actions towards Spacer's Choice mechanics are contrary to logical directive. Conclusion: all hostile automechanicals must be defective in compliance with Spacer's Choice policy. All defective affirmative. Mechanicide protocols loaded. Awaiting confirmation.
Awesome. He's going to help us. So we repaired him. See, all these little things help out. It's worth doing all the little knickknacks in the game.
Two more. What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Vale?
Away, Phantom! You're not real. You're not real. Go away, Phantom! No, just leave me alone. You're not real. You're not real. You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot, scram. You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a touch fuzzy these days. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you. The tail. Definitely start with the tail. Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides. Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
Okay. Wow. That's quite the nut job story he's got going. And he just stayed here, because that made no sense.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Sister, begin.
Watch out!
Performing an area sweep.
Hunting rifle only does 53. What? plasma rifle. Interesting.
Now.
Everyone all right?
What's up? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to Liv?
Processing data. Investigating.
Incoming!
Okay, so we came in here, looted these bodies. Let's do the lower floor first, make sure we get everything. Okay, does that ladder go to the same place? Yeah. Alright, we've looted over there.
The last. I'm not sure what the ride is. All I know is the decision's final.
Decision's final, but we still gotta make the decision of where we put it. Look at the barred door. Alright, now we gotta decide where to put it.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Okay. Okay. Well, now we get to see the consequences of our choice. Should be an interesting one. M for body. Your outfit looks like a Marauder's.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? Is that right? I'm dying to hear this. Please, educate me. Liberating? Edgewater is my home. The only home I've ever had. I put down roots here, gave decades of my life to this place. I never asked to be liberated. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence. All right, easy now. Let's not do anything we'll regret. I'll order my guards to stand down. Take what you came for, and then leave us be. Stand down, all of you. We're done here.
would have just apologized to the guy, but pretty sure I would have had to kill everybody, which was not really in my best interest.
I put my whole life in that cannery.
Just
You must be
gotta
very
keep
proud.
our heads up.
Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please. Anthracillin, huh? That's an anti-Cleo product. I appreciate your vigilance on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I'll make sure this medicine goes to where it's most needed. Your compensation and your receipt. Spacer's Choice wishes you a productive shift. Got my hands full at the moment. We pay by the finger. What do you have? Mabel Burgess. Age 37? Right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. I'll just need your signature here, 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 here. Something to report?
Got my sights on you.
Don't make me report you to Mr. Thompson.
What is my main quest right now? I'm gonna go return to the ship, but I'm not gonna leave this planet if that's what it's gonna give me the option to do until I finish my side quests. So let's go find out. Fairy tale.
What do you mean by that?
After lunch.
Wait, we're still having lunch?
Yeah, just because Mom made a late breakfast doesn't mean we're gonna not have lunch.
Hey. Lovely to see you above, Miss Parvati.
Things going all right, Silas?
Been keeping him careful and true, miss. Best to ask her yourself.
My dad's buried here. Silas watches over him when I can't leave the house. Oh. Well, thanks.
Something I can do for you? You run into any trouble? Conrad's barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. I keep telling him he should cut a few corners, skimp out on the disinfectant. You gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some dirt on him. Maybe check his back room. That's the word, extortion. Been on the tip of my tongue all day.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no, but can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain. I can't stop thinking on Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are gonna be all right now they got power, but what about the town? All those people. That's on account of how I never met her. I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda. He never told me a word to that effect. And since he didn't, I didn't have to say nothing about feeling different. And nothing had to get weird. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants. I'd like to do that for him.
Okay.
You're fast.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Reminds me of the computer from Portal. Yeah, it's another good game that you'll end up playing eventually. Yes, it's very good for problem solving.
Something you need?
Now, when we were searching there, did we end up getting that last book? We did not. Well, we know where the book is.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters.
I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Alright, well, finishing our side quest here before we leave is definitely high on my list. So, with that, we are going to save the game. Save over this one, and we will exit. So, if you like this video, hit the like. If you dislike the video, smash the dislike. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. But please follow on Mixer and Twitch. And if you'd like to know when I'm uploading or streaming, which I am usually streaming, make sure you hit that little notification bell and you will be notified. Alright, thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed. Peace out till next time.